I'm glad you brought that up, Blake. Penrith being on the same side of the draw now as the Storm means we don't get a grand final rematch. Does that take away slightly for anyone in regards to, I really would have loved to have seen them have another go this year? I guess we get a grand final rematch, possibly a week before the grand final.
You know my thoughts. I'm going to chime in here, Paul. You know my thoughts about Ivan Cleary and the Panthers. I'm more than happy to see them battle their way to a prelim and get smashed by the Storm next week. I think it's probably a good time to mention it. I think the week off is normally sought after. I think this year it takes on even more importance playing the games in Queensland. The players just look shot at the end of a match. They're going to have to back up and do it this week. And the Storm are sitting there waiting with the Fox coming back. I think they'll, whoever they play, and probably Penrith, will absolutely, they'll wipe the floor with them.
Yeah.
It also gives the Cheese another week to get over his injury. He was huge. While he was on the field, he was huge again. He has been, I think someone mentioned it last week or the week before, he's probably been their best player all season, the Cheese. And he's had to play in a number of different spots as well. And his energy level just never goes down. He's
I was going to say, Paul, it's a good segue. I think Mitchell Pearce's game on Sunday sort of probably took a few zeros off his next contract to finish his career, whereas Brandon Smith's last 3 months or the whole year has just added a few zeros to his next contract. He's the hottest property on the market at the moment, and any club should be, selling the farm to grab him. He's brilliant. I don't know if Bell will let him go, but I'd be doing anything I can to build a team around him.
Any whispers out of the Warriors, Carl?
Me?
In regards to the Cheese?
I can tell you point blank, knowing people in his camp, he will never play for the Warriors. He still holds a bit of a grudge.
Well, that hurts.
Is that straight from his old man, is it?
No, I don't know his dad. It's just from his camp. It's from his camp.
Yeah, I'd love to see him in a Warriors jumper. But you see the importance that he brings to that team when you've got Harry Grant, who's they're both fighting for the same jersey, coming out saying, we want the Cheese in our team. We want to keep him. And, we want to do anything we can to keep him. So, yeah.
Harry Grant, he's a state of origin hooker.
Yeah, can't get a start.
If there's one block of cheese you want in your bloody pack, it's that boy there.
His effort play on that first try was just to beat all those players to that ball, palm off whoever it was, the winger he palmed off, offload around the corner like 9. Well, I don't even know what he was playing. He was playing 9 or prop or 13, whatever. They shouldn't, regardless, he shouldn't have been able to do that.
No, it's very, very good. And for those who had Lume as the first try scorer, would have been very, very happy. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of them. I'm just saying Lume, the first try scorer. Just how good is the Storm team? I mean, this was supposed to be a big matchup against the Sea Eagles, and they pretty much, the game was overdone and dusted by about the 20, 25-minute mark. They were just totally dominant. How do we beat them?
We said it last week. I said, they were one of my tips of the week. They were in my best bet. I had no worry about them beating Manly. The game plan that they come up with, it just amazes me. So we spoke about Manly having their shot. They shot their shot round 24, round 23, whenever it was, and played awesome. But are they going to change their game plan? Well, obviously Bellamy did. Because the way he took Turbo out, they kicked into touch, they kicked the ball high. So by the time he got the ball, the Storm were down there. And their line speed in defense was just amazing for 80 minutes of that game. The way they shut down those plays, when the halfback would get the ball, a lot of teams would just sit back and let them play and then try and make a decision at the end. Whoever the half was, they was just getting pumped under pressure. He'd either be tackled, or you've seen a lot of the times they had to hit short. Turbo was nowhere to be seen because the rush defense on the outside and the pressure on the inside. The defense simply won it for Melbourne, and it allowed them to, in the end, play that footy because they were just bashing Manly in defence. A lot of people said bad Manly. I think Melbourne made them play the way they did.
Isn't it funny now? Like, I was always a traditionalist thinking you need to play a lot of footy, but all the sides that had brilliant games last week were rested the week before. Like Parramatta rested their side the week before. The Storm rested their side the week before. Yet the sides that played full strength the week before, like Roosters and Penrith, are just off the ball and didn't really get into a groove and just looked a bit on the pace. So, yeah, it's all about that rest at the time of year, Blake. And from experience, do you notice or do you need that rest late in the season?
I think you do, especially the amount of footy that, that's why I was shocked with the Penrith side the last round, because they had a lot of boys in that origin. I know they had some injuries, but they had a lot of boys play a lot of minutes and a lot of footy. You can understand the Roosters sort of had to play because they had no one else. But, I was shocked with Penrith and even Manly playing a full-strength team. Manly wanted to get into the 4, obviously, to give themselves another chance. But I think, that rest is needed, especially like you mentioned, in Queensland, that heat.
Yeah. So I think, Storm just bounced out of the blocks, didn't let up, maybe had a flat patch of maybe about 10 minutes. But apart from that, they were just all over him and didn't give Turbo a sniff, particularly in the second half. I think he ran for 15 or 20 metres, which is unheard of. So very interested to see how Manly bounce back from that. But I think we'll know what Melbourne are going to give us Saturday week. It's going to be, they'll just bounce out of the blocks again. And whoever plays them, Penrith or Para, watch out.
They're now into, the last time I looked, Storm are into $2 to win the grand final. And we took a $6,000 bet at the $2 as well. So you're saying they're a gimme to make the grand final, pretty much.
Well, there's a $2.50 Quinella I wanted to bring everyone's attention to, the Melbourne South one. Just get me on that. I just love that. I think both sides in form, rested, and both at full strength, apart from Latrell with South. There's so many variables that could happen to Manly or Penrith this week: injuries, suspension, fatigue. I just take that $2.50. I think it's a pretty good bet.
Very nice. Yeah, there's one for the books.
Yeah,
But I like that because I'm guessing that Cleary and the Panthers were expecting to have a week off this week and rest the bodies. And now that they don't, they're going to have to get up again this week and then face the Storm. I do like the way you're thinking, Fisky. I like the way, rest is everything at this time of the year, especially for those big forwards. And it's very, very hard for them to, I would think, get up 3 weeks in a row and have top-notch games, a lot of them. So I really do like that $2.50 for the South Storm Grand Final Quinella. Very, very nice.
Just place my bet now. Thanks, Fisky.
I guess the Wi-Fi is working all right down there at the moment.
Yeah, we're good. We're good, Paul. We're good.
Yeah, thank you.